forward to the questions that you have after the event. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Can everybody hear me? Okay. My name is Ali Zakaria, and I'm never worthy of any praises that Omar bestows on me. I'm senior only in age. Otherwise, all praises to Allah. I'm going to introduce the panelists as we go along, rather than introducing all of them at the same time. So our first panelist is Misbah Chaudhry. Her primary area of practice is immigration law. She practices before the U.S. Immigration Service, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and Customs and Border Protection. She also does consular processing through the Department of State. She also does labor certification through the Department of Labor. So today she's going to talk about the processing times that immigration or other departments are taking in processing their application. So please join me in welcoming Misbah. And before you start, I'm sorry, I'd like to thank Maryam Masjid for giving us this opportunity on behalf of Muslim Bar Association of Houston to present this seminar. And as always, Maryam Masjid has always been very kind to community services and especially to the local bar associations. So thank you, Maryam Masjid. Now, please, Misbah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Misbah Chaudhry. I practice in immigration law, as Ali Zakaria has introduced. Basically, it's a very broad practice because it covers so many departments that we deal with. Immigration process, as you all know, that starts with the filing of some kind of petition or application. Either you are filing a petition with USCIS, which we commonly know as DHS, Department of Homeland Security, which covers various aspects like ICE, immigration codes, Department of State dealing with the National Visa Center, Department of Labor. All of them are bundled together, and when we are filing a petition or working on some kind of application to move forward to put in or to request for some kind of immigration status with immigration. When we put in this application, either they are in the form of petition or an application. It's an employer involved, or it's a family member involved who's filing a petition, or it's an application who somebody is personally applying, like somebody is here on a visit visa and they are putting an application to file for the extension or the change of status or adjustment of status. And the first thing to file is that they move forward, we file the petition or we file the application with the Department of Homeland Security, and then we are on a waiting time period. People keep on going saying that, oh, you know what, the most anxious part after filing an application or petition is that how much time it's going to take. And that time is called the processing time in legal language, in immigration language, which we say that, okay, what is the processing time? That any application that you file has to process as per the processing time. And it depends on what kind of application is that, what kind of petition is that, who is the beneficiary, what is the relationship. Based on that, the processing time is established with immigration. No attorney has nothing to do with establishing the processing time. This is all in the hands of the Department of Homeland Security, that once a petition is filed, how much time they are going to take to work on that application or to work on that petition and move from one department after the approval to the second department, so they can take their processing time to process that application. When we talk about different kind of applications, there can be non-immigrant or immigrant applications, or there can be different categories. There can be sibling petitions, there can be employer filing for an employee, there can be a spousal petition where a husband or a wife is filing for the spouse visa. So different timeline is involved. It's not that the same timeline, same processing time goes on for all of them. What happens in 2016, briefly we are here to talk about this. So it's a broad criteria, but what we discuss right now is that briefly to give you an understanding of the processing time, because what happens is that by 2016, all the processing time and the timeline of the petitions and the applications filed, because they were filed in such a large number that it was all messed up. They were unable to process them in the regular processing time, but they were coming up with, like they're saying that if you are filing for an adjustment of status within the United States, a spouse is filing, that maybe it takes 3 to 4 months to process it and then get the input date. Then it gets expanded to like maybe a year and a half. So at that time, in 2016, all of that was in a kind of chaos, and they came up with a pilot program, which we have briefly discussed on this presentation also, that they come up with their pilot program to figure out that what are the most important and most commonly filed petitions, which are filed with the immigration. Usually they come with the 4 of them. There are many of them which are filed, but simply they said, okay, the green card process, which is the adjustment of status, and number 2, the citizenship. These are the 2 basic applications.